Well, you don't have to wonder too long because we are about to bring in that last one in just a bit. But before we do, let's fill up your appetites again because, listen, we spoke about the award-winning cheese, but let's make something beautiful with it and something beautifully nostalgic about the smell of cheese and herbs. It's something about baking it in the oven that kind of just reminds me of good times at home. You knew when baking was going on, it was a special occasion like a birthday or a celebration. So this is a reminder of all those moments. And I think as we celebrate Freedom Day, what a better way to honor the spirit of unity and togetherness than with a batch of these hearty, savory cheese and herb muffins. And of course, Chris is here to join me on this one.
Unity and togetherness.
Yes, let's do exactly that. Are you a fan of muffins?
I love a muffin. Yeah. A moist muffin is my favorite kind of muffin. Savory muffins, I don't have that much experience with, but why not?
Why not? And I think these are cool because people often think that you can eat muffins only as a dessert.
Right.
But if you make them savory, then it becomes like a breakfast. Ooh. It becomes a health muffin.
Come on. It is healthy.
Let's do exactly that. Again, we're using some award-winning cheeses for this one. And it's really simple. So I'm going to ask you on your side if you can get going with the wet. I'll work on the dry. And the wet's really simple. You've got some whipped milk and cream in there. We've got some oil. We've got eggs. All of that can go into it. And that's pretty much as simple as the wet part is. While I move over to the dry, and you can just start whisking that up in the meantime.
I will whisk that away for you.
Yeah. On the dry side here, we got some flour, we got baking powder, salt, mixed herbs going in as well, and then some salt and pepper. And then what I am going to do, because, I mean, it's staring at me and it's looking so good.
You should taste it.
This award-winning cheese right here. I'm not just going to taste it, but I'm going to add it to the dry mix as well. And it's something that is really going to work with so many recipes. We've seen all the different cheeses that you can use, and this is something absolutely exceptional.
Don't hold back. You better use all that cheese, Ryle.
I will. Well, look. This is something that I actually didn't mention. I'm going to keep a little bit at the end. You don't have to do this, right? But if you want to, you can keep a bit of the cheese at the end and then sprinkle it on top of the muffin.
Okay, I love that idea.
That little crispy layer.
Yes.
You don't have to do that. I mean, we didn't do it in our recipe, but it's something that you can definitely add as a little bit of that little pizzazz.
That's a pro tip.
Yeah, we're using the white mature cheddar for this one. One of the many award-winning cheeses.
What did you say, like 85, 86?
85
crazy.
awards. It's insane. And we're talking about over 1,000 entries.
So we basically took all of them.
All of them, literally. Okay, so we've got the wet, we've got the dry, and now we're going to combine them all together.
Easy peasy.
Simple as this. And then while we are, because we are practicing unity, we're going to mix that together as well and unify the wet and the dry.
Unify them.
Yeah.
In the name of peace and freedom.
I'm also still reflecting on Makatini. I mean, the amount of wisdom that he shared earlier.
Yeah.
I'm still processing a lot of what he's mentioned. But I think it's so true that we are entering a time in our nation where we are still dealing with healing. We're still dealing with trying to emancipate ourselves and unshackle ourselves from all the burdens of the past. So as much as it is a celebration, I think it's a great time to reflect on how far we've come and how much more work we still can do and what we can impact while doing it. And everything from just creating simple memories with your family.
That's it.
It sounds so cliche, but it's literally what our forefathers and ancestors literally fought for.
Yeah.
They fought for the opportunities for us to be around a kitchen, have great food, quality meals, and creating a memory out of that. And I think this is something we should celebrate, no matter whether we're in the kitchen, in the yard, watching TV, watching your feel-good breakfast show.
It's a form of protest, actually, in this day and age.
Absolutely.
I love that.
As we usher in the crescendo of this recipe, all we're literally going to do here is pop this into our baking tray. You do want to line that maybe if you do have like a sticky tray. I've seen people have old trays that have like half the Teflon coming off.
Yeah, that's my tray.
They say it's extra flavor.
It does.
Look, as long as you know what you're working with and it's your tools, I think that's what adds to the memory. But all you got to do is pop it into the baking tray right here.
Lovely.
Put it at about like 180 for safety. Keep an eye on it because obviously everybody's oven is different.
It is.
And some people are even making these in air fryers these days.
That's me.
That's you. You're like the air fryer queen.
I love an air fryer.
I've come to know this. So yeah, this is as simple as it is. I'm always intimidated about some of these recipes when it comes to baking because I'm not a baker. But if you want to get creative with this, I'm sure there's many things that you could do. What would you add if you wanted to maybe somehow step this up?
I would add jalapenos.
Oh, jalapenos.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that would just be so yummy. How about you? You're going to add protein, aren't you?
I'm thinking, what protein? I'm like, I don't know, chicken wouldn't work so well. I don't know about mince, but like, if you were naughty, I would imagine something like a bacon. I don't know. Bacon in a savory vibe always goes quite well together. Sure, what else could you do there?
Biltong.
I know like if you're going to add some herb and flavor to this, some of the greens, the corianders, those would work quite well. Not me, nah, not me. Listen, weirdly enough though, if I use coriander and I cook it in the batch, then it's fine. But if it's fresh, it's not. Okay. And I actually found out exactly why. Myself and G share this same. It's a genetic mutation. And listen to this, right? We, myself and G, the ones that don't like coriander, and anyone else of you at home that also doesn't like coriander, you are actually an original ancestor. And everyone that likes coriander actually had a gene mutate. It's one letter on like the 11th gene. The gene mutated, and all those that have that mutation now don't have an issue with coriander. So
your guys' PR is working overtime because there's no way.
These are actual facts, though. I was so blown away when I found this out. I was like, what, my DNA is different? What? Listen, it tastes amazing, and it's a great additive to many recipes. But right now, we're just going to talk about the cheese. And as you've seen, we've been naughty and added the cheese to the top of this, so you're just going to get that little bit of a crusty layer.
I like that idea.
Good cheese on the inside as well. And here's another tip, and this is not mine. This is obviously from Tiff, and she's amazing when it comes to everything. Tiffany says, sometimes the cheese that's in the batter and in the mix can sink to the bottom. So what you want to do is actually take the cheese and rub it in some flour. And that stops the cheese from sinking down and welling at the bottom of the muffin.
That's a great idea.
How cool is that? So, Mzanze, I know this is not the culinary hotline bling, but we're coming at you with some conundrums to solve. And what we are also using right now, I've got to grab this one because this was my favorite from earlier.
That one. I'm going to have that one.
This is the oak smoked Stanford cheese. Oh, my word. I had this earlier. It is incredible. And we are adding this to our muffins.
Obviously, we are.
We can.
And adding one to my mouth.
That's so good, right?
It's so
Don't blame you at all. So again, remind, obviously, you can get the cheese at Woolworths and you can get it in-store online on the app. But if you want the recipe, then you're going to head over to expressoshow.com.
That's fantastic.
I wanted to taste our version, but we haven't made our version. We've got the plain ones over there if you really want to tuck into. But we'll keep that for the rest of the studio. These are ours. We are booking these ones.